He said it took everything in him to not to faint right there at the fence. Now, when he seen her with the guy at the park, he was kind of oblivious to it, but this time, it hit him like a ton of cinder blocks from a demolished Cabrini Green project building. He could not take it. He lost all the feeling in his knees. It's like his legs went to sleep right there, and he almost collapsed with the sight of seeing his beautiful Thai wife sitting in this guy's lap or whatever, kissing him all in the mouth.
Yes,
now,
I have an accent because I ain't from here. I was born in Thailand, and I grew up in Georgia for a decade. And then I fucking moved to Nebraska. Ain't shit over there, by the way. How the hell y'all gonna tell me how I'm supposed to sound like? You want me to speak in broken English, bitch? The fuck? Or would you like for me to speak formally to you, sir? Fuck out of here, man.
The girlfriend experience in Thailand is you get a hot chick and you pay her bills that she'll cost about $300 to $600 a month. And she's your girlfriend. That's like being a filthy rich guy that gets a supermodel as a wife. People are like, oh, she's a gold digger. She didn't really love you. No, we have an arrangement. I'm going to take care of all your bills, give you an allowance, and you're going to behave the way I think a woman should behave. And if you have any problems with that, then I'll just cut you off and drop you, and you'll be in your one-bedroom apartment in the ghetto wishing that you had made me a sandwich the other day when I asked you to get me a sandwich. The real end goal for a Thai chick is meet an American, get him to fall in love with you, convince him to open a business together in Thailand, which he can't own because Americans can't own, only citizens can. So we'll put it in my name, we're in love. We'll put it in my name. She then has her family come in and run the business. And once they've got it up and running, they're making money and they've drained you of everything that you've got, she starts fights. And within a week or two, the entire relationship is devastated and she wants nothing to do with you. And she leaves with your money and your business. The girlfriend.
What's going on, guys? This is the one and only Travel Time with Paul. Make sure you like and subscribe and share this video. Before I get into the topic of the video, I would like to give a mini monologue. It's been 66 days since I last uploaded the video. Well, I know some of y'all missed me, some of my subscribers. Well, guess what? I'm back and I got a bunch of videos on the way. So be on the lookout. I had to, enjoy my little summer break. Now I'm back in action. So we gonna get right into the topic of the video. Now, topic of this video is about a guy who listens to a lot of these veteran YouTubers over there in Thailand telling him you can find a wife in Pattaya, Thailand. You can turn a bar girl into a wife. Well, for my military guys and for my veterans who's been going to Southeast Asia for 20 and 30 years, y'all already know that's not true. But then you got a lot of these Johnny-come-lately guys who just got their passport since 2020. They so mad, they hate what American women has become. They think the grass is green on the other side. Well, a lot of them are finding out the hard way that it's really not. Women are gonna be women no matter what corner of the globe you go to. So let's get into the topic of the video. So we got this guy from Charleston, South Carolina. Goes to Thailand, spend a little time in Pattaya. And the first place he goes to, because he got a consultation from one of the guys, I won't even say his name because they very sensitive, but he got a consultation from one of the YouTubers. He got his passport out right after the pandemic or whatever. He had already been to the DR, already been to Colombia, but the things he's seen in Colombia, motivate him to never want to return. So he went to the Philippines and he thought he fell in love with a woman over there in the Philippines. But it wasn't until he went to Thailand that he truly fell in love. Now, he went to one of the nightclubs. I can't remember which club, so don't get me wrong, don't give me the line. But it wasn't 808, but it was one of the other clubs that's on Walker Street. And he found this drop-dead gorgeous Thai woman. I've seen a picture of her, he sent it to me. She's one of the prettiest Thai women that I've seen one of these guys with so far. If a YouTuber decided to do a vlog with this particular Thai woman, he can easily get 500,000 to 1 million views in 72 hours with this particular Thai woman. She's gorgeous, she's a bombshell. So he goes to Thailand, meet her at a club. And first conversation comes up, he asks her, was she a freelance? She told him no. But little did he know, she did it off and on, here and there. She wasn't a full-time freelancer, she was a part-time freelancer. So they go back to his Airbnb because he was originally supposed to stay over there for 28 days, but he got an Airbnb for 28 days or whatnot. First time in Thailand. And him and his girl, they towed the living room up. They went from the living room to the bedroom like wild animals, getting it on some adult shit. And The following morning, he wake up the next morning, his apartment smelling like fresh bacon, sausage, eggs, and all that good stuff. He thinks to myself like, damn, she can cook, and she cooking for me. Well, he got up, looked for his clothes. He couldn't find his jeans or whatnot, his shorts. So he grabbed the first thing he could, which was his boxers and a t-shirt. Walks in the kitchen. The only thing she had on was some panties and a t-shirt with her beautiful tan Asian butter bun showing, standing over the stove, cooking some more eggs or whatnot. He asked her, are you doing this for me? She said, yes, I do this all the time. He asked her, do you do this for every man that you meet? Well, somehow she found a way to get out the conversation, so let's say he never got his answer to that. Then she eventually said, yes, I love cooking. I love treating my man like a king or whatever. I cook for him every chance I get or whatnot. So he asked her, could she make pancakes? She said, no, she never tried to make pancakes, but she know how to make waffles with a waffle maker. But she fixed him a big plate of breakfast. He sat at the table, they both sat at the table and started to eat. As he ate into the food, he thinking, damn, this tastes better than my grandma's back in South Carolina. I may have to marry you, sweetheart, is what he told her. She started blushing. But little did he know that blush was like, yes, it's working. I used the best bait for this sucker, and so far I got him. Now all I have to do is reel him on to the bank of the Mississippi and take him home, butcher him up, and fry him like a catfish platter, is what she thinking. So, but I'm just paraphrasing what she was really thinking. You know, I had to put my one-liners in there. So, not only that, when they got through eating, she got up from the table because she finished before him because she really didn't get much to eat. All she had was some fried rice and some chopped cucumbers, is what he stated. So she took off her shirt, took off her panties. He stopped in the middle of eating, looked at her beautiful tan body as she walked towards the bathroom to go take a shower, and she stopped and looked at him and did this, come here, Justin. He told her, you don't have to tell me twice, honey. Jumped up, ran behind her, and they got it on in the shower. 28 days was up, and he spent every last one of them with her. This man didn't even take the time to go meet and vet other Thai women. He thought he found the one he was looking for. He figured, well, since they say most of the women that mess with foreigners in Pattaya are freelancers or into like, you know, looking for a sucker for an hour for the night. I looked up. You know, Richie Mack down there was right. You can find love here. I'm a living testimony. I found it is what he thought. So within them 28 days, she never asked him for a lot of money. She was using her money from other guys that were sending her money from multiple countries, is what he didn't know. He never asked her, when did she have time to go work or work a job to get money? But she was making probably more money than him from guys from different countries. I want to say he later found out she was getting a total of $6,000 combined from all these foreigners from different countries. But he didn't know this at the time. But in the meantime, she was using this money to go buy him knockoff Yeezys from the little markets off Beach Road. She even was buying, this woman was filling his refrigerator up with the money she was getting from other guys. Do y'all know why she was doing it? She was doing it because she was playing the long game. And we talking about a guy who's not broke at all. He was doing well for himself or whatnot. He was into IT, and he had a small little movement company back in Charleston, South Carolina. So 28 days was up. It was time for him to return back to the States. He get back to the States, he tell his pops and his friends, man, I think I found the one. Y'all ain't never got to worry about me touching a damn American woman ever again. I'm done with these bitches, is what he's thinking. Especially black women, because this guy, he's black from Charleston, South Carolina. So his daddy tell him, man, be very careful, man. Like, you know, you talking about marrying this woman already? Them women, they know how to play, they know how to run game better than American women. His Jamaican friend was like, my brother, listen to your father, Bomba Clock. I'm from Jamaica. I see it all the time. Foreigners come over there and they play these guys like a 1994 Sega Genesis, is what his Jamaican friend said. But he dismissed whatever they were talking about. He wasn't trying to hear it. Because in his mind, he was already hooked from that tight peace sleeve that them Asian women be possessing. He was hooked from all that. He was hooked from the mouth and lip service. He was hooked from the fact that she knew how to cook. When, to be honest with you guys, you really still can find American women that can cook too. Not trying to take up for them, but man, if you the right dude, a woman will cook for you no matter what country you go to. But I digress. So he dismissed everything they were talking about. And he even mentioned at one point bringing her back to the States. One of his friends was like, now, why the hell would you do that when if you bring her back to the States, the game is automatically rigged in her favor and against you. Why in the hell would you do that? And then we got the internet. It would be easy for her to be influenced by, you know, the American women over here. And what if she see a younger guy that she's more attracted to? Why don't you just move to Thailand? At least if things go south and things don't go well between you guys, the cards is in your, the ball is in your court, everything is in your favor. You could just erase and replace her with another Thai woman. He wasn't trying to hear that because remember, all his businesses he was running was over here. And he didn't trust nobody to run his business like he did. So he had plans on marrying this woman, bringing her back, and making her part of his business and lifestyle. Well, it was time for him to go back to Thailand. And this is like 3-4 months later or whatnot, after coming back from the States. They was keeping in touch or whatnot. Well, he decided, they went to one of the beaches. I can't remember which one it was, but he decided to, he brought a ring back from the States and he proposed to this woman. And as he proposed to her, she started crying. And you would have thought, anybody walking by would have thought she would have been crying and joy that she found her a good husband or whatever. Now she was crying because she was proud of all her work had paid off. I got this sucker. I got him taking in my well. How in the hell he's going to get out of this one? That's what the YouTubers that's selling y'all a good game from Kenya to Thailand won't tell you guys. Women are going to be women no matter where you go. It ain't me hate, it's me giving it to y'all real. I'm the only one going to tell y'all how this shit really go down. Travel, have you fun, but don't get it twisted and think these women are any better than the ones over here. They just know how to play the game better. If they knew how to do it over here like how they do it in foreign countries, there would be no such thing as a passport bros. But let me get back on topic. So she was crying thinking, yeah, I got her. And she introduced, later on that weekend, she introduced him to her family back in Eson or whatnot. And the mom was crying too, talking to the daughter in Thai, probably thinking, yes, I raised you to do a good, you did just how we raised you. It's probably what they were talking about. But he had no idea because he couldn't speak Thai. And then the mom approached him, barely know how to speak English, saying in broken English, my American son-in-law, American, I love you. That's what she was saying. Happy she got an American son-in-law sucker, basically. So, as time went by, the girl, whole demeanor and attitude just started changing slowly after they got married. They got married after they got engaged. And, you know, he asked her, what do you think about going back to the States with me? At first, she did not want to come to the States because she did not want to leave her family back in Thailand. So instead, she convinced him to open up a food place over there in Thailand. Well, they opened up a food place and it was very unsuccessful. I think they stayed in business barely 5-6 months, if that, before they saw a return on the money. So the business went south, so they had to close it up. And eventually, I guess, maybe her mom and her family got in her head and told her, if he want to take you to America, go ahead, go back to the States with him. But do what you got to do. Do what we taught you to do. Well, he later found out he got this woman pregnant. They had twins, a boy and a girl. And at this time, he was still in and out of the States, from the States to Thailand. She had never been to the States up until this point. Fast forward, the kids was around 1, and that's when she came to him and asked him, are you still thinking about taking me back to the States with you? Plus, our children, they can get citizenship. He thought that was music to his ears, so he was like, yes. Because he didn't want to raise his kids over there in Thailand. So they went through the process or whatnot, and eventually he brought her back to the States, to Charleston, South Carolina. Now, they met in, I want to say, late 2021, 2022. This was around, I want to say, late 2023 or early 2024 when he brought her back to the States. Let me tell you, they wasn't even over here 30 damn days before she really started showing her true colors. See, she was showing bits and pieces of it in Thailand, but at the same time, she was doing a good job saving face back home. But that woman got back over here to Thailand, and let me tell you, she started, because I didn't know this, but she was already keeping in touch with some American men that she had met, American men she met in Thailand on the Line app. I thought you can only use Line in Thailand. I didn't know you could use it over here in the States too. So when she got back over here to the States, she reached out to a few of the guys in Atlanta, Georgia, Los Angeles, DC, different areas that was visiting Thailand that she had already slept with or been with as customers over there in Thailand. She let them know she was over here in the States. And eventually they was flying out to Charleston, South Carolina to see her. Now, I don't know how she was able to convince this guy to let her leave and go places by herself, go grocery shopping by herself. Hell, he eventually got a dog. I want to say he got one of them lab retrievers, or not. They eventually got a dog, and the dog used to jump over the fence. So dog would be gone for hours at a time. So eventually he bought a GPS collar for the dog. I think he paid like $130 for the GPS collar, and he let her know, for now, if the dog jump over the fence, this collar will be able to tell us in real time where the dog is located and which direction it's headed. And she laughed it off. She said, wow, you such a great dog father. But him not knowing, she started going he allowed her to go grocery shopping by herself, because that's what she was doing back in Thailand. Only this time when she would go grocery shopping, she would be gone 2 and 3 hours. Now picture the whole time. He later found out his Thai woman would go to the hotel that these other guys was flying. What these guys was doing, they was flying from other American cities, getting the hotel, giving this Thai chick the address, and they was digging her down the whole time when she was supposed to be grocery shopping. So she would go grocery shopping, but who the hell go on a 3-4 hour grocery shopping spree? He ain't never think about that. But what was happening, he started leaving her at the house by herself also to run his business in the daytime. And as he would leave her at home, he would leave the dog at home with her too. He started noticing the dog would be in weird places, because she would take the dog with her sometimes. She had started going to the gym, and she started lying to him about going to the doctor office, because she claimed she was pregnant again with their third child. Remember, they had already had twins. Well, when he started paying attention to the weird location where the dog GPS would be at, the Days Inn Hotel, the Hilton Garden Inn. What the hell is she doing there? He didn't want to confront her about it. Instead, he started Googling a lot of these places. It was one day, they was at some park or whatever, the park she usually take the dog whenever, in the noon before it get real hot in the evening. She would take the dog walking at a park a few blocks away from their house. Well, he noticed looking at the dog GPS, they was at this park for hours. Usually they just go for 30 to 45 minutes, but they was there for a couple of hours. So he decided to leave one of his business and drive to the park. And he sat like a football field away. He had his Canon T5i camera with the long extended scope on it. He saw her car. He saw the car that they drive, and he noticed she had company. He seen the dog with her, but he noticed she wasn't the one playing fetch with the dog. It was another guy who was every bit of 6'3", big pythons, big arms, like he was a WWE wrestler or whatever. Muscular, toned up, like he was every bit of 13% fat. Now, remind you, this guy wasn't in the best shape of his life. The guy that we talking about, he had a gut and everything, According to him, he looked like he was several months pregnant. But his bank account stuck out longer than his belly. He thought that was all that mattered, was his money. He figured, as long as my money, as long as Canal Street down in New Orleans, I don't need to get in no gym. I don't need to look like 6'8" the Great. I don't need to look like no damn bodybuilder from 1987. I'm good. My money is gonna do the talking. I don't have to say anything. And that's how a lot of American guys and European guys think with a lot of money. That's how a lot of guys think that's money taller than Lil Flip and T.I. combined. But you still gotta get in shape, because I'm a living testimony. I've been on both sides. I was in great shape from 2017 to 2018, and shit, I was making $900 a week back then, but I was getting way more women at that time than I'm getting now. But shit, I make 8 times more money now than I was making in 2017. But back to the story. So he was able to catch up with another guy, whatever. The guy looked like he could have been a NFL tight end or some shit. So he didn't say no, he just got some pictures, got proof, and eventually he was gonna do some researches on a divorce lawyer. By her not being from the country, he was gonna try to figure out what was the best way to divorce her, and her not taking everything, and maybe get her sent back to Thailand, is what he thinking. But it didn't just end there, y'all. It didn't just end there. She got back home, her hair was moist and damp. He said, hey, where you been? I've been looking all for you. Me and the dog go to the park. We go running, then we go to the doctor. But he wanted to say something about, you didn't go to the doctor today. I looked at the dog GPS. But he paid it on, never mind. He said, all right, I'm gonna give this bitch enough rope to hang herself. That's what I'm gonna do. So later on that night, she gave him the best fucking like never before. Could it be she was fantasizing about that 6'2", 6'3" guy with all that was 13% body fat she was with earlier at the park? Or could it be she probably suspected he knew something, so she was trying to, give him the best sex to get his mind off whatever he was worrying about? Because even she noticed there was a change in his attitude. But in the back of his head, he thinking, yeah, I got this bitch. She thinks she's slick. She been seeing other guys or whatnot. And he went back from the whole time he had the dog GPS and realized she had been cheating on him the whole time. She started cheating on him damn near the minute they got in the country. A couple of months with them being in the country with other guys that she had met already in Thailand, but she still kept in touch with them via line and WhatsApp. And these dudes, they was willing to fly all the way out to see this Thai woman. But I seen a picture of her. I mean, I guess if I was a sucker and I was there thirsty, I probably would have jumped on the first flight smoking too. She looked like a walking, beautiful, perfect built honey bun with curves. So anyway, he was able to catch her again. A few weeks went by after they had the best sex since they left Thailand, or since the first night he met her. A few more weeks went by. She started taking the dog with her everywhere. She was using the dog as a scapegoat to have an excuse to go meet up these other guys that was flying in town. But only this time she was meeting guys locally now on Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and different dating apps or whatnot. Well, on this particular day, she took the dog with her and he looked up the GPS and he was able to, Google the address and went to the live satellite for this address. They was at a nice 2-story burgundy brick cobblestone home or whatever, out in one of them charging suburbs. He thinking like, damn, who the hell does she know they live there? So he drove to the address. And as he got out of his car, he heard talking in the backyard because it was one of them beautiful days with a nice breeze or whatnot, about 75, 77 degrees or whatnot, according to him. And he heard, some voices in the backyard of this beautiful home that he just looked up on Google Satellite. Guess who it was? Another man, his dog running around the backyard, and as he looked over the fence, she was sitting in this guy's lap, kissing him all in the mouth while they talking, having a good time. Like, you would have thought he was the one who brought her back from Thailand and wiped her up before they came to America. The way she was wiped up, like, hugged up with this guy in his backyard. He said it took everything in him to not to faint right there at the fence. Now, when he seen her with the guy at the park, he was kind of oblivious to it, but this time, it hit him like a ton of cinder blocks from a demolished Carina Green project building. He could not take it. He lost all the feeling in his knees. It's like his legs went to sleep right there, and he almost collapsed with the sight of seeing his beautiful Thai wife sitting in this guy's lap or whatever, kissing him all in the mouth. Now, as he stated, he thinking about, damn, so is she doing the same thing that she did with me in the bedroom with them? Wow. I brought this, I went out my way and I spent thousands of dollars is what he thinking to bring this woman back to the States. Now I gotta think, now I gotta visualize my Thai woman sucking another man up, probably having unprotected sex with him. Who knows what's going on in the bedroom? And this is a woman I thought loved me. And here I'm thinking American women was the enemy. He did everything not to go back there in the backyard to confront them. So instead he left, he drove off and he circled the block a few times. Then he just said, fuck it, I can't take this no more. He went back to that house, that same house he saw his Thai woman sitting in the guy's lap in the backyard, rang the doorbell. A moment later, the guy came to the door. Another guy who was in the best shape in his life, had a white beater on, looked like he was at least 15% body fat. And he gave this guy the pictures. He said, hey, I just want you to know that woman that's in your backyard, that's my wife. I moved her from Thailand. We've been married for a couple of years now, is what he told this guy. He was like, your wife, she didn't ever tell me she was married. What is you talking about? He said, no, so that's my dog that I bought for her and the kids in your backyard or whatever. I just want you to know that. Then, as he started walking out, the guy was calling back out to him. Hey, get back here, let's talk. What are you talking about? So the wife heard a familiar voice in the front yard. So she ran up to the front and she was like, oh, and she started calling out to her husband with her broken Thai accent, trying to get him back to try to, explain to him why she was over another man's house sitting in his lap or whatever, but he had already seen them. So he went home. His Thai wife started blowing up his phone, calling him back to back. He wouldn't answer. He kept sending her the voicemail. And he had already been talking to a lawyer. He called a lawyer again later on in the day and said, I now got more proof and pictures I can give you. And then the lawyer was like, perfect. Send them to me, email them to me, or bring them by my office whenever you get a chance. But his wife kept calling. And he answered the phone. He said, what do you want? She said, I'm sorry, him friend. I knew him a long time. She couldn't even come up with a decent enough lie. Hell, I don't even remember the lie she told in the email. It sounded so cringe and weird. So he said, well, whenever you get home, I want you to get all your shit. I don't give a damn where you go. Get the hell up out of my house and I'm keeping the children. She said, you can't do that. He said, I'm changing the locks when I get home, is what he told her. Well, I was told he wasn't allowed to do that, but he did it anyway. Now, mind y'all, she really ain't got no family over here, so where the hell was she was going to go? But she went somewhere, all right. She got home. She put up a big fight. They got into an argument in front of the kids. Then she started swinging at him, you know, scratching him all in the face. He pushed her down. She started crying and said, "You just attacked me. I call police." Now, if y'all don't know it or not, had she called the police, which she didn't, oh man, she probably would have automatically got citizenship for real. And in the 90s, that's a law that they put into effect. So anyway, she eventually packed all her clothes and she left. And you know, the children and everything stayed with him. Guess where she ended up going? Y'all wouldn't believe it. Back to the guy he called her with house or whatnot. Then she sent them a message. "I don't love you anymore. I lost love for you a long time ago." Yes, when I want divorce is what she told him. I guess the guy got into her head or whatever, and she figured, well, this guy got more money. He's got a bigger bank account. So what the hell I need with the other guy? Hell, I'm already over here in the States. I signed the papers, I'm leaving. Now, I don't know if you get I don't know how the law goes. If you get a divorce with a Thai woman, are they able to stay over here, or do they got to go back to their country? I never asked her, man. I should have, but she's still here as we speak. So, make a long story short, they got a divorce or whatnot, and you know, she ended up living with the guy over his house or whatnot. Months go by. She tried to take him to court, family court, to get full custody of the kids. Somehow he was able to win full custody of the children or whatnot. And one day he went to go see his grandma's at the cemetery. Now, she knew where his grandma's was buried at because they used to go together. He was at the cemetery in Charleston, you know, went to his grandma's grave or whatnot. And he looked around, a black Camaro pulls up with loud pipes on it. Windows were tinted. Get out was a beautiful brown Thai woman. It's his ex-wife. She walk up and approaches him. He thinking, how the hell did she know I was here? Well, she know that was one of his routine. He liked to go around the same time every weekend. So she assumed he was going to be there, which she was right. And she tried to reconcile with him. She tried to talk things out. Let's get back together. I miss you. He said, no, I don't want you back or whatever. If it was up to me, you would be back in Thailand. Well, I guess she had got tired of living with the guy that he caught her with. It turns out the guy turned out to be very abusive and was putting his hands on her. So when she approached him at the cemetery, she had a semi-black eye or whatnot. And a part of him wanted to bust out and laugh and like, yeah, look, bitch. Look what's going on with you now. I tried to tell you, but you thought the grass was green on the other side. But he had to remain stern and cold, didn't show no emotions. He kept a steel leg on his emotions and refused to take her back. And he asked her politely, I would like for you to not come up to this cemetery where my grandmama's buried. You're no longer family or whatever. Yes, we got kids together, but you're no longer family is what he told her. And he walked off, and you know, she started crying, was begging and pleaded with him, but he didn't pay her no never mind. He got in his car and he left. And that would be the end of that story. Now, the moral of the story, guys, travel, have fun. Do not travel just for women. Yes, let that be a dessert that come along with the entree. Have fun. If some of you get lucky and find a great wife overseas, great. Not saying it can't happen. But with a lot of Westerners traveling at a higher number than ever now, their chances are getting slimmer and slimmer by the day. Because what is happening? A lot of women are starting to pretending to be a wife of material in these foreign countries so they can get whatever they want out of these guys, because they know it's a lot of guys traveling to these places more than it used to be because of the passport bro movement. It used to be a time you could find an honest wife on accident or without even looking. And a lot of times, if you'll know you had a real good foreign wife is when you met her parents and they introduced you to their daughter and hooked you guys up. Then you knew you had a great woman. She would still have to like you though. Now, you got YouTubers telling guys that you can just walk inside of a damn nightclub or a bar. And the minute a woman like, chocolate man, you know, that's the one for you. She's still better than the American woman. Well, a lot of y'all gonna have to find out the hard way. And I'm glad, because that'll just give me more YouTube content to talk about. So make sure you like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm out. One.